Hey guys, Poopzy here, and today I have a live battle for you versus BlazinKickinChicken. Very good YouTube battle. You guys should go check him out after this battle. This battle happened like a month ago. It's a very good battle, but very, very haxxy. Not gonna lie. And yeah. So this is a UU match, and as you guys know, UU is my favorite tier, and I really wanted to battle a rematch with him, basically. So we decided to do a UU match. I told my rec everyone at UU, and I never lost a UU match before. I think I lost like one, and that was it. But anyway, yeah, I lead off with my Yuxi. He leads off with his Quillfish. Now I know that Quillfish has moves like Taunt, and I was kind of afraid that he would go for it, but I decided to go for Stealth Rocket anyway. And yeah, he sets up spikes. Let's go for a Zen Headbutt. That was basically my only options were basically to either U-turn out and show him another poke, or just Zen Headbutt and kill him. Now I was actually surprised that I actually do that much, but I just go for a Zen Headbutt and I kill his pink Quillfish because it's shiny. Anyway, I Zen Headbutt, it dies. I'm sitting here getting lefties, but the poison. See, whenever I use my Yuxi, it always gets like status somehow. It's so stupid. Anyway, he goes into his Dawn Fan. I have to U-turn on its face because I know I can't like hit this thing at all for any damage because I have no special attacks. And I go into my Moltres predicting a Stealth Rock, and that's exactly what he does. And he switches out and shows me his Milotic. And I was wondering why he went into his Milotic because, like, well, apparently right here there's Calcs, and it looks like Fire Blast would have done more. So he's probably predicting a Fire Blast, but I guess didn't put that into consideration. And he gets hit with the Hidden Power Grass. So he goes for a Hydro Pump. And I go into my Fable predicting the Water move, and he goes for the Hydro Pump, and it takes me out with a crit. Yeah, that was very unlucky and not cool, but it's okay. It makes like Hax makes up for it later in the match. So anyway, I switch to my Moltres, and he switches into his Moltres, and I am a Life Orb user. I go for a Hidden Power Grass, and it doesn't do anything even with a crit. And I switch out because I'm really afraid he'll win the speed tie because I'm not timid. He might be timid, but I'm modest, and basically it's guaranteed that we're gonna have a speed tie. And I really hate speed ties, so I switch into my Yuxi, and he double switches and goes into his Registeel, which I haven't seen yet. And I offer rocks basically because I know he can't one-hit kill me with anything unboosted, and he goes for a Curse, and I'm like, okay, a cursing Registeel. I can just U-turn out this thing and bring in my Claydol, because a +6 Iron Head won't one-hit KO Claydol, so I could have sit here and stall him out all day if I wanted to. So he goes for another Curse, and now he has a bit of curses up, and I'm just going to sit here and get some more lefties. So we're all getting lefty over here. It's a big lefties fest, and he switches to goes into the Spiritomb thing. Now, this Spiritomb gave me hell this whole entire match, because it's so bulky, it's not even funny. It should be OU, I think, in my opinion. Anyway, he goes for Calm Mind, which I basically went to my Yuxi to scout if he was physical or special, and he is like when he goes for the Calm Mind, it reveals that he's special. So I know he doesn't have Sucker Punch, which really helps me. And I go for Yawn just to get it to sleep, because if this thing's asleep, it's gonna be a lot less deadly. That's a fact. And I'm sitting here getting lefties and getting basically dwindled down. And I didn't want to switch. I mean, I went for Yawn again because Zen Headbutt wouldn't affect it. U-turn. I didn't want to U-turn and switch out yet. So I already had Stealth Rocks up, so I decided to go for Yawn. And he goes to sleep, and I'm like, oh my god, yes, he's asleep. No, it's awesome. Now that he's asleep, I can just U-turn out and go into something that won't get hurt at all by this thing, right? Wrong. It's a Sleep Talker set. When I saw Sleep Talker, I'm like, this is terrible. I mean, a Sleep Talking Spiritomb with Calm Minds, it's just basically just going to plow my whole team. And Azumo's my only really decent physical attacker left, so I have to basically use it sparingly. I go for Waterfall, and it almost destroys it. It's left at about like 101 HP. And he also goes for a Dark Pulse, and that's going to, I believe, bring me down to really, really low HP. I think it was like 2 HP. I lived to 3 HP, I remember that. I lived to 3 HP, which is amazing. And he switches out into his Milotic. I guess it's Death Fodder, because the Waterfall is enough to take it out with huge power factored in. And that basically my Milotic dies, which isn't awesome because Milotic is bulky and awesome also. Anyway, he goes out into his Moltres, and it's basically checkmate here because Moltres is just gonna. It's got me. It'll outspeed me. I can't switch into the Stealth Rock, so Thermal is basically just dead, and I'm banded, so I can't go for Aqua Jet. So, yeah, I bring in my Hitmontop. Hitmontop is basically. I bring it in because I didn't want to bring in Claydol, because if I brought it in, he would have predicted it and just went into Spiritomb to take the Rapid Spin. Anyway, I go for Fake Out because it's free damage and scouting for anything, basically. And he brings in his Spiritomb to take it. I should have went for Bullet Punch. If I went for Bullet Punch, it would have saved me so much. I went for Bullet Punch, hoping that Adamant Max attack Hitmontop be able to do something to this thing, but no, it won't. It just won't. Why would it be anyway? I go for another Bullet Punch, hoping for a crit or something, and it doesn't, and I have to sit here and watch his HP go painfully up, all the way back to full. And that was just not a thing I wanted to see at all. So anyway, I'm almost at full health with my lefty, so I decided to switch because I can't stall because none of my attacks except for Bullet Punch affect it, and it's not doing anything. So I switch on my Claydol, and he switches into his Doofa. His Donphan. And basically I have to decide to either switch or stay in, and he predicts the Rapid Spin. He goes back into his Spiritomb, and yeah, I go for Shadow Ball predicting that. And because it's my strongest attack against this thing, and it crits and gets a special defense drop, which is amazing because that'll really help me in the end. So I go for another Shadow Ball, hoping to whittle its HP down just a little bit, and I don't kill it. And I'm like, okay, this is gonna be really close if I can be able to kill it without a win. He goes for a Dark Pulse, and that is not going to be able to take. No, it's not going to 2 KO with lefties in. So he gets some more Lefty's Recovery. I'm hoping that another Shadow Ball will take it out. I know it won't unless I get a crit. And yes, I got that life-saving crit. Thank you, Hacks. So that Spiritomb was a humongous problem. If that didn't happen, I would have lost this match 100%. So now I'm just going to have to stay in and just Earth Power this thing to death. And it's basically a big stall war. That's why it's sped up ×4. And I'm just sitting here trying to kill it somehow. I just decided to spin the rocks away so I can bring in my Moltres. But I don't want to bring in my Moltres in yet because now I'm afraid he'll go for Iron Head. So basically I have to sit here and just pray that he doesn't go for it. So I decided to switch in my Yoxi kind of as fodder. And this is where the biggest stall war commences. So he's just cursing up, and I yawn him, hoping that I can put him to sleep before he sets all the way up to +6. And when I see him continually cursing, I'm like, oh god, please don't tell me. It can't be true. So he's still cursing up, and I go into my, wait, no, I don't. I'm in my Yoxi, basically, and I go for his headbutt, and it does nothing. I'm just trying to basically flinch him, and he's asleep, and I see the Sleep Talk, I'm like, oh my god, 2 Sleep Talk Pokemon on your team. Wow. And he just goes for another curses, and basically, he's at +4, or +5 now. And I want my Claydol, because I know I can take an Iron Head no matter what. And Earth Power is going to be doing respectable damage. And he just goes for Sleep Talk, but he wakes up, which is really funny. So now I'm just sitting here, hoping I get a special defense stop with Earth Power. I mean, why? And he just goes for an Iron Head, and that's going to almost kill my Claydol. And I just go for another Earth Power, and that is going to bring it down to 106. And he gets another rest off, which really is painful to watch also. And I just go for another Earth Power, and it doesn't do that much, like a third. It just looks at Iron Head and just kills me. So now I have basically a safe switch in my Moltres, and I wanted to go for a Roost, but I didn't want to risk him Sleep Talking an Iron Head and killing me. So I just go for a safe Fire Blast. That's easily going to 1-hit KO his Registeel. Now he's just going to go into his Donphan, hoping that Fire Blast will miss or something. But I decided to go for Roost, which on the the long run wasn't a really good play. He just goes for Rapid Spin. And I really should have just went for Air Slash or something, but I decided not to. And I forgot again that Fire Blast was more powerful than Hand Power without Stab. And I go for Hand Power, and it doesn't kill it because, yeah, he was 69 HP. And he goes for Stone Edge, but it misses. And that was really, really critical. So he's sitting here getting more lefties. And he told me to be nice and just go for another Roost so he could kill me, but I clicked the move after before he told me that. So I kill his Donphan. His last poke is his Moltres, and I win the speed tie and just Air Slash his Moltres. So that is good game, BlazinKickinChicken. It was a fun match. The question of the day, guys: what's your favorite football team? My favorite football team is the Giants because they're awesome, but the Patriots are doing really well this season. So comment, rate, subscribe, guys, and goodbye. I love you all.